All right, welcome everybody to the 251 Connection. We're connecting business owners, community leaders, and the community. Follow us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, check out our website for blogs from our guests, and please comment, share, like, so we can get more interaction and more connections. So today, I'm here with Jared Irby. He is the owner of Irby Home Buyers out of Mobile. You've probably seen his signs, the We Buy Home signs, all around. So he was actually raised in Spanish Fort, born in Mobile, local guy. He's kind of traveled the globe a little bit. And he is an Alabama fan, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay, there you go. About time. I've had a lot of Auburn fans on here lately. So, and basically, I'm going to allow him to tell us a little bit about what it is that you do there at Irby Home Buyers.
Sure. Thanks for having me on, Chris. So Irby Home Buyers is our investment arm, and it's actually Irby group of companies, and so we're real estate investors. We own single-family houses, apartment complexes, some commercial properties, and things like that. But the big focus is Irby Home Buyers is actually we go out and acquire properties that are usually in distress situations. They need a lot of repairs, things like that. And then we fix them up and flip them ourselves. We keep them as rentals, or the biggest thing we're doing right now is selling them to other investors who are looking for, discounted properties to flip themselves.
Perfect. And it's kind of, it's wholesaling basically, right?
Yeah. So we do a lot of wholesaling, but
Okay.
we keep quite a few properties ourselves as well.
Perfect. Okay. And so how does, is there a specific model that you have? Is there something that you look at when you're talking to customers about their homes or anything like that?
Sure. So we're really looking, can somebody actually sell their house? Do they own it? We get some crazy calls, like if they tax liens or inherited properties that haven't been resolved yet. So we really call ourselves the real estate problem solvers, right? So we're looking, are there problems that need our assistance? If you have a great house in a great neighborhood that doesn't need any work, I'd love to buy it, but what I can pay for it really probably isn't going to make sense to somebody.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So we're really looking for those houses that have problems, whether it's needs a roof or it's just destroyed, a hoarder house, whatever it is. That's kind of what we need to do. Some of the problems could be they need to close quickly, 10,
Sure.
15 days, less than that sometimes. So, there's a lot of different scenarios that come into play, but really what we're looking for is there a problem that we can help solve?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's kind of the message, I wanted to make sure that people get today. It's not that, hey, you're coming in to make a lowball offer. There's a business model there. However, you are there to help solve some problem. Like you said, there could be liens. So you're not just going to walk in, oh, there's a lien. No, I don't want your property. Correct.
Yeah, exactly. We can help negotiate, liens down. We can track down, other people that need to be involved in the process, like if there's a family dispute and multiple people on the deed. There's a lot of different scenarios,
Yeah.
So we don't just stop on the surface problems. We dig a lot deeper. And we don't pay market value for the property, but I don't think that would be a great expectation either if your property needs a lot of repairs or work. So that's kind of what we do. And then on the investor side, we're kind of solving the same problem for them is, finding a deal where you can go in, you can fix it up, flip it. That's really tough to find, right? I know you guys
Absolutely.
do that and I'm sure it's pretty tough to find those. So that's kind of the service we provide on the wholesaling side to investors, is really being able to dig in deep and like target an area that they want. If they tell us, hey, we want to be in a specific area, we can go out and find them some houses in that area. Or if they want a rental house that rents for a certain amount, we can go find that. And so we kind of keep an inventory of properties like that. So we're kind of the go-between between somebody that needs a real estate problem solved on the seller end, and then the buyer end, is looking for, an easy deal to get into.
Sure, absolutely. Okay, so where are you, if somebody wanted to reach out to you, besides the signs, obviously, but where would they find you? What are some of the marketing platforms you use?
Sure. So we're all over social media. Facebook is a big outlet for us. You can look us up. Facebook, Irby Home Buyers is our page. The best thing to do is just call our main number, 333 cash. So if you see that advertised anywhere, that's
333 cash. Okay.
Yeah, 333 cash. So it makes sense.
Yeah.
And then also we do a lot of online advertising all over Google and different search engines, things like that. Okay. You may get a postcard from us. We do a lot of direct mail. We get referrals from agents like yourself.
Right.
We love working with real estate agents that.
So do you provide a referral fee or anything like that?
Yeah, absolutely.
For the agents out there watching this?
Yeah, as long as you're a licensed agent, we can do a referral fee, and we always do. In fact, most of our deals come through referrals from agents at the moment, and it's a really good source, especially like if you've got a customer that you're just having a real tough time, you can't really justify listing it on the market. We can come in and help out with that. Like some properties, like a hoarder house or something like that, is just not. It's going to be a situation where you might not want to put your brand on it and advertise it through your outlets, and that's where we come in. We can kind of just go straight to that seller, negotiate with them, and then pay you a referral fee afterwards.
Perfect, awesome. So so let me clear something up.
Sure.
So the other day, I actually went to do one of my guys, my lead paint man. He went to do a quote, and he walks in the house, and he hands the customer a business card, and they're like, "Oh, you've already been here," and I was like, no, we've never been to that house. Yeah, Chris from Irby, and I was like, no, that wasn't me. I said, we're Kirby, right? That's Irby, IRBY. I just thought it was so funny. So kind of she was looking to do the same thing and wanted a quick sell, and cool. I guess you guys have been out there, and we went to go look at the paint, and she's like, "You've already been here," and I said,
nice.
"No." So I thought that was funny. But back to kind of your business and your brand. What sets you apart? What makes you different? Because as you know, there are a lot of people, whether it be first-time flippers, DIYers, investors that are just trying to break into the market, and there are companies that help them. So what sets you apart?
Sure. So from an investor standpoint, if you're just a part-time investor, you're not going to get the deals that we do. It's not going to happen. I mean, you can work really hard and you can find them, but you just can't dedicate the time necessary. We have a team of people that goes out and is evaluating properties. We know the areas we operate in really well. We know what we can pay for something. We know what the values are really quickly. We keep a really good pulse on the market. So when we're evaluating properties, we know really quickly what the situation is. And also the experience we have just resolving problems in general. It's just something that when you get into it, you might seem like you have a good deal, then you find a lien, you've got to track down a bank that closed 20 years ago.
There are numerous nightmares that come up in that process.
Yeah, so it really is a huge process that you have to go through. And so between the technology that we employ to make sure that we are targeting the right properties and things like that.
All right, so we lost connection there, but we're back. So what we were talking about is what sets them apart, and that was going to lead into what does success for your organization look like?
Sure. So we're really trying to develop all of our employees into leaders, and so we're really big on setting our core values and really kind of looking at the team and saying, we want everybody that's on our team to know that they can move upwards, right? And, so it seems like we're just a local company, but our ambitions are a lot higher, to be, definitely throughout the Southeast and possibly even nationwide over time. So, success to me is really when the folks in our organization, step up and become leaders on their own and can kind of keep pushing the ship forward. And
so really, I mean, you're building leaders. You're not just, you're developing your team. You're training, right? You have
exactly.
Okay, You're training your guys, and that's all important to create a culture, that's comfortable for people to work for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we like to have fun, but at the end of the day, we're really trying to build a team of winners. That really want to go out and just kind of win win every day. And so that, to me, that success is when we win.
Got it.
And not at the expense of others, obviously, but we're really just trying to make sure that we do the right thing every day, and really empower the people in our organization to do that.
Nice. So so in real estate, there's ups and downs, just like any market, right? So are there any adversity or any difficult moments that you've had that you were like, man, sometimes this isn't the the morning I expected it to be?
Yeah, no doubt. Real estate can be finicky for sure, right? It's very dependent on market cycles and things like that. And you could argue, where are we at in a market cycle? And you don't really know until after the fact, right?
Sure.
So yeah, there have been times where things just aren't moving, and there's issues, and it can also be like neighborhoods can have cycles to them too, right? Like you could have all of Baldwin County is doing excellent, but you could have areas of town that aren't doing so great, right?
I've seen it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And it happens over here because Baldwin County's popping, and then you look at Mobile and you may say, well, it's not really popping. Well, I know lots of areas that really are, and then there's some areas that are very stagnant. So so my biggest issues have come when we look at the whole market and then use that knowledge to invest in somewhere that trend isn't happening.
Sure.
And then we get kind of messed up and hemmed up.
Absolutely. And because you're saying each individual area could be cyclical, not just looking at Baldwin County, but for instance, Foley, could be booming, and its next door neighbor, Gulf Shores, is maybe in a slowdown, or vice versa.
Yeah.
Or there may be a subdivision, in each area. From what I've seen, sometimes subdivisions sell themselves. They could be very hot and then not.
Absolutely, yeah. No, I think that's 100% true, and I think it even boils down to asset classes, right? Like you can have condos start tightening up, then you get into commercial property can be on a whole completely different cycle than residential. A house that's worth $300,000 plus is completely different than a house that's worth $150,000. I mean,
absolutely.
It's just you can, even in the down market, we were still selling houses at $150,000 left and right. Multiple offers, because that's what the market was still demanding.
Sure.
Where you saw the big slowdown was on the more expensive houses. So it really, there's definitely been moments that are interesting, and some of the moments, most of them are probably even my fault, not even so much the market fault. We, buy the wrong house, don't have a good construction company come out and give us a bid on what it's actually going to legitimately cost to fix. We kind of just eyeball it and make a guesstimate. So there's a lot of moments where you have to be very careful, for sure.
No, and it takes a lot to admit that, but without identifying where we were weak at one point, we're never going to be able to build off of those mistakes, right?
Yeah.
So, and absolutely. That's not, in my company, sure, in construction, you're never going to please 100% of the people all the time. But, what happens when you go through those moments that a customer isn't satisfied? Your resiliency as a company to take those customers on and things like that speaks volumes to your business and how it's run.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's important to really, identify problems quickly. It doesn't always feel great to talk about your problems and stuff, but it's really good. When you see smoke, it's probably because there's a fire burning underneath. So, we treat the problems that we see as smoke, and we try to quickly, weed them out really quick and get to the root of the problem. Nice. And I think that's probably a key to most successful companies is, I made a mistake, here's what it is, admit to it, and then fix it and move on.
Absolutely.
And then that's just that continuous growth cycle.
Absolutely. Okay. So after, everything, why does Jared Irby do what he does? Why do you do what you do?
Well, so there's two reasons. First of all, I love it. But second of all, I just saw a house flipping show like 10 years ago. and the guy had a helicopter, and his kids were jumping out of it, like using it as a diving board.
Sure.
And I'm like, that's what I want to do.
Yeah, awesome.
But then you get into it, and you get a little deeper, and you're like, okay, this is really fun. I enjoy it. It's the number one way to build wealth. You can employ leverage and other people's capital to really grow your business, and really kind of build a team of people that are really excited about real estate. It's kind of something that's always hot.
Yeah.
And so you can really attract, great people, in, and that's what really kind of builds it up. So it's kind of got a little bit good about everything in it, and that's kind of how I decided to take a shot at it.
Nice. Okay, so let's talk about you and getting that helicopter, right?
Sure.
So this is the personal side. So do you have a morning routine?
Yeah, so I wake up and try to hit the ground running. Frankly, I know some people are big on like meditation and stuff like that, but I've got 2 little kids, and so the morning is not really the time to do that unless you get up super early. So normally try to get everybody up early, and so everybody can just kind of calmly start the day. I think that's a real key to things. And then after that, get everybody to school. Starting off at the office, really like to kind of plan the day out, and really write down 1 or 2 or maybe even 3 big tasks that have to be done that day. Your kind of big rocks that you need to knock out.
Absolutely.
And then I've got a long to-do list as well on top of that, but really try to focus on those core those core things that's really going to that's really going to move the ship forward. And hasn't always been that way, but since I've started employing that, significantly better. So that's kind of what my morning looks like. Yeah.
Okay. Well, how do you stay motivated throughout the day? Is just like in our industry, I'll write that list, and then I'm 30 items in, and I haven't hit not even that first big rock sometimes.
Yeah, no doubt. And that happens to me too. Sometimes that rock stays on the list for a week, because life happens and things happen in business. What really keeps me motivated is knowing what my goal is, right? And in the business or whatever it is I'm doing, I'm really big on making sure that I have a written down goal of what I'm looking to achieve. Yeah. And so that goal is what kind of keeps me moving forward, because it's really easy to wake up and be like, well, man, I'm 4 steps behind by the end of the day. I thought we were up and we're going to have this huge deal happen, and now it fell through. And then on top of that, a tenant's moving out, one's getting evicted, this is happening, that's happening. So now I'm 4 steps behind. Well, that goal, if you keep that goal in mind and what you're really trying to achieve, that's really what kind of motivates me to keep pushing forward.
Perfect. Okay. And then how do you stay organized? That right there. Yeah, there you go. Because if you could tell me that, man, I tell you what.
Yeah. I don't stay organized, frankly, but I've tried to surround myself with people who do. And I'm really good at quickly making decisions, quickly, deciding to do something, getting things moving, really kind of creating a vision. But I'm not so great on the organization side. And frankly, left to my own devices, my life would be a complete disaster.
Sure.
So I've got a lot of folks in my life that really kind of steer the ship. Like, once I know, what the compass setting is, they kind of keep it on track a little bit and handle the paperwork and stuff like that. And I really suggest, some people are super organized, right? But then they have a hard time making decisions. So you need to surround yourself with people who kind of fill in your weaknesses. So that's what I've done. Identify what that weakness is, and the organization is a huge one, and try to surround myself with people who are highly organized.
Yeah, and that's what I tell my guys when I hire. I'm looking for people that are smarter than me, that are more technically talented than I am, that can take me to that next level.
Exactly.
We can't do that stuff on our own, no matter how good of a company you have or how good you think individually you are. Team, it matters.
Absolutely,
so it's important. So how do you find the time? You mentioned you had daughters and stuff, and you own the business, and you are the key figure. How does that balance work for you? How do you balance that work life?
Sure. So I think a key to it is owning your own business. Gives you a lot more flexibility. Like after this, I'm going to go to a school event for my kid.
Nice.
But if I, had a 9-to-5 job, I think that would be a real challenge. So for me, the balance is, sometimes at night I have to grind it out and make it happen. Tuition's got to be paid.
That's right.
And my kids understand that. But you kind of also you get to bring the whole family kind of into the business too, and they get to really run in the office. They see what's going on, and I think that's making them better in the long run too. So there really isn't a lot of balance between work and personal. It's kind of like when you own your own business, it's kind of all like intertwined a little bit, and I think you can get carried away with it. You can work too many hours and things like that, but I don't think it being intertwined is actually a bad thing. I think it's actually a good thing, and it's probably how it's been done, up until the last 100 years. That's kind of actually how life ran. So,
absolutely.
So I actually enjoy it, and sometimes I've got to work 90 hours in a week, and other times I get to take off 2 weeks.
Absolutely.
So I think it averages out.
Perfect. Okay, so let's we're going to get to some of these ending questions here, which is my favorite part of the show. Do you have a favorite business book?
So I've read a ton of books, and not to like brag, it's just what I like to do. And so you asked me this question, any day I'll have a different one.
Sure.
Right now, I would say my favorite book is Traction.
Okay.
It's Gino Wickman, I believe, is the author. And it's just kind of the point we're at in our business that really feels like it's valuable to me. If I was having to choose a book for somebody that was kind of getting started, I would say the E-Myth is a really good one. It's these are all kind of basic books, but it really is like fundamental core foundation of building a business.
Absolutely. Okay. And do you have a favorite CEO or leader or inspirational figure?
Yeah, so I've got a couple mentors that really that are more local to my space that I really like. I like a lot of different leaders. Like I think Elon Musk is amazing, but I think he's also kind of nuts.
Right.
All at the same time.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if there's anyone in particular that I identify, but I do like to follow all these figures and like kind of try to pull out pieces that I think are applicable to me. So mine is more like actual mentors that I've got in the business.
Perfect. Okay. Sports team?
Oh, Alabama, of course.
I knew that because I've seen some of your stuff on Facebook. So, hobbies.
So I love to. I'm a pilot, so I love to fly. Just try to travel everywhere. Travel's a big hobby, even if I'm not flying. Love to fish, and I hunt occasionally. Not this year a lot, but I try to. So anything outdoors. Love to hike. Any kind of thing that's outdoors or doing something is a big hobby. Also some woodworking and things like that.
Nice. Okay. Favorite food.
Well, that's tough. I like all food.
Yeah, I'm a foodie man. Me and my wife, we are foodies.
I will say, me and my girlfriend have been on a Korean barbecue kick lately, which is pretty amazing stuff. So, yeah.
Okay, there you go. All right, so favorite place to go in South Alabama?
Man, I love to go to the airport and go up in the plane.
Really? Yeah.
It's just super,
well, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's just super peaceful to me. It's kind of stressful enough that you forget about work.
There you go.
Right?
Okay.
And it's kind of high stakes, right? So it's kind of my thing. If I wasn't there, I just want to be on the water anywhere around here. So.
Nice. Okay, so we're going to wrap it up, and if you had one message to deliver to our audience, what would that be? Sure.
So the core, one of our core values in our company is massive action, right? And so if you have a goal or something that you want to achieve, I sincerely believe in just taking absolute massive action to get toward it. And that's just kind of the one thing that I feel like I could leave that may be a good nugget for someone.
Nice. Okay. Well, we appreciate you guys for watching. We thoroughly appreciate you for coming on, letting the people get to know who you are, what you do, how you help us, and tune in next time. We're going to take a break for the Christmas holidays, and then we'll be back in January and I'll keep you guys updated. Again, please share this video, like it, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and hit us up if you have any questions. And can you leave some contact info for the audience?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll leave our contact info, but you can find me on Facebook, Jared Irby. You can also find our company on Facebook, Irby Home Buyers. Our website's irbyhomebuyers.com. And if I can do anything for you or help you out in any way, reach out to me personally, and I'd be happy to do that. Love making new connections.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.